So we're up to Mishnah. So you remember what we said last week on Mishnah Aleph? The concept of interruptions. That was an important concept. You know, each one looks at interruption, what's normal, and does not destroy the integrity of the message. Remember the concept that we had?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now Mishnah Beis. Okay, who's gonna say Mishnah Beis?
I can take it. So Eluhen ben Aprokim. These are considered ben Aprokim regarding the interruptions. Ben bracha b'shona l'shniya, between the first and second bracha. Ben shniya l'shema, between the second bracha and shema.
Yeah.
Ben shema levayem shamoya. So shema means the end of
Yeah, we left the
המזוז v'secha ובשעריך.
Yeah.
בין ויאמר שמויה לויאמר, בין ויאמר לאמס ויציב. רבי יהודה אומר, בין ויאמר לאמס ויציב לא יפסיק. So far, all that we've seen.
Yeah, yeah. And I pointed out something which I think is important. That normally, what would you normally consider Ben HaProkim, really? The Shema itself.
Yeah.
You have Shema, between Shema and V'hoyim Shemoya as one, between V'hoyim Shemoya and Vayomer as two, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the Mishnah says Ben HaProkim is really the brachos of Kriya Shema and Kriya Shema. You know? That's what the Mishnah
Which is really very
says.
strange.
What?
Which is really very strange.
Yes.
Because brachas have indirect connection to Shema altogether.
Yeah. So what must you say?
So there has to be something
It's
that's
one big communication.
It's one big
One big
message.
unit.
Yeah, there's some type of the message is not just Shema. You know, and that also will answer why the Chazal put it with Shema. Somehow they saw that these brachos are connected to Shema in terms of the totality of a message.
It's interesting to see what exactly it is,
And
because
the Mela,
from what-
there's Ben HaProkim for each of this.
yeah.
Because I said last time that the interruptions is really what? To interrupt the message, the integrity of the message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's expected. And that was the argument. What's expected to interrupt? Where it doesn't destroy the message, so to speak. Whereas obviously this tev, that if these are being a problem, so there's a totality of message that includes not just Shema, but also the brachas.
So Hanan a few times ago said that he once heard the connection between the three brachos and the three parashiyos of Shema is that the first bracha Yitzhar Me'oros brings to Emunah, the second bracha Ahavas Olam is about learning, and the third bracha is about Yitzhas Mitzrayim. So that's a connection between the brachos and the paragraphs of Shema. So then maybe we hear it a little better.
Sounds like a stretch. I mean,
Actually, it was said by two people. He also heard it. Shimon Kedar also heard it.
Yeah, but I question that interpretation. To me, it sounds like it's not so much what it will lead to, the consequences of reading this. It's
what
the
it is.
content. What does it say?
Right.
When you lead to it, you know, it's something I can say anything as long as it leads to the moon. You know, it's weak. I consider that very weak swara. But stronger is content.
It's very strange. With the ethical things we take and put it.
Yeah,
it has to be
so
content.
there has to be a continuity of content. They have to all the content have to contribute to a central concept, you know. And it would seem just automatically, just looking at Shema, that clearly, what does Shema concentrate on? What is really Shema?
Yichud Hashem.
It's a belief. It's a declaration of belief. It's not a communications. That's tefillah. That's Shemona Esrei, which I've mentioned.
Yeah.
It is a declaration of belief. So therefore, if you think about it, you know, the concept of belief. So Shema itself, the belief is the Rebbeinu Shalom is, he is our God, he is one, and he's a melech, right? Right? And what does our conduct to this king have to be?
And therefore,
You have to Hashem Lakecha and so on.
Relationship, avoid.
And then the concept of the Oil Malchus Shemayim, the mitzvahs.
Right.
That's a central concept of the belief. You know?
So we can see how it is one, really.
Yeah, so the
That's
first
right, so-
one, if you look at if you have Siddur, you know, Amar Varavim, Yotza, Ma'iros, and so on and so forth, that is that the Rebbeinu Shalom created the Bria. The creation is his. that's a statement of the creation itself.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Yotzei hamoiros. If you look at it, it's,
Even though we are focusing on Meoiros specifically.
well, the
brocha,
luminaries,
brocha,
yeah.
brocha.
Well, that's the universe. That's the whole creation, really. You know.
Oh, you mean all the planets, all the whatever,
Everything,
something
yeah.
like that.
The Moshe created Bara Or, Bara Choshech, you know. So that seems to be a statement in terms of Brias Olam, that the Moshe created everything, you know. And then the second thing,
His relationship with Bria.
well, the second thing seems to be the Limna Torah, Shachas Torah.
But more generically, we could say it's a relationship with Bria. His relation, no? Wouldn't say that?
No. The question then would be, what does Limna Torah do with Brias Olam? You know what I'm saying? Anybody have a thought?
The world was created in order for us to learn Torah.
No, well, learning Torah as a mitzvah, but that would be that would be Shema itself. But Avo Rabba, you know, what does Brias Olam have to do with Limna Torah? You know,
Limon HaTorah enhances our perception.
is what
Limon HaTorah enhances our perception
of
of the Bria, of Hashem, and basically
okay.
gives a certain
Yeah,
self.
okay. I would refine it a little, although it's certainly on the right path. The Torah is the document that is the Bria. If you want to know the Bria, just learn the Torah. You know. So the first thing is that we believe that He created everything. We believe that Torah is a statement or the archaeological plans of the whole Bria, and therefore we should learn it. Then the third thing, which is Shema, is observance of the mitzvahs. You know what I'm saying? Then the last bracha, you know, is that He took us out of Mitzrayim. I mentioned what that was. What was the fundamental idea? Why is I mentioned a while back. Why is Yetzias Mitzrayim, which is really what the Vayom is? Well, that's why you have Vayoma. But if you look at it's all fundamental understandings of what we're supposed to believe. It's called, these are the core beliefs that you need to have. You know, and each one seems to will express a core belief. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, it's really one message. These are the core beliefs that I express. In other words, before I get up and talk to you, let me tell you what I believe. You know, before you can communicate with the Bosham, you need to state that you believe that He is what He did. You know what I'm saying? Or else, what are you getting up and talking to Him for if you don't really have that belief? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just wondering if there's a correlation.
Is what?
There's a relationship between those 3 brachos plus the 3 paragraphs of the Shema, which is a total of 6. And
The 3 brachos, well, Shachris has 3, but the Marav has 4.
That's 4, right? We can be connected.
Yeah. The last bracha seems to be the concept of Geula, that there will be a redemption, and ultimately we will see that what's called Chush, reality. We will actually see that which we believe now. We will.
That's the Tachlis of the Bria, basically. I mean, the world was created at the beginning, and there's certain Tachlis what it was created for. So that Tachlis, where the world going, that's the Geula, basically. So
Well, what the Geula, yeah, okay. But I think what the Geula really is, when we talk about redemption, it means whatever I state now as a belief, we will see in the Geula.
Oh, it's another aspect.
That is what's called the actualization.
Now,
of
with belief, there's going to be...
actualized.
Yeah.
And that's where Geula fits with the beginning. But if you see it, what it really is it's like the first part of Shema, the first part of Shachris is all about praising God, and then before we get up to speak to Him, we have to. I think the proper word for this, we need to legitimatize. You know, He's our belief, or rather Him. So we express beliefs, and once we express beliefs, then we can now address Him. You know. And like I say, the Geula is really that what you're saying now as a belief will ultimately be actualized, realized, the Asilava, and then we get up and talk to them and so on, So if you really look at it, there's a message in all of this. These are core beliefs, and therefore it's one thing. Don't stop the message. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just wondering, is there other...
You know what it's called in English? Credo. What is your credo? Have you heard that word?
Credo means core beliefs?
Well, credibility means
Okay.
belief. When I say you have no credibility,
Uh-huh.
means you have no belief. Nobody's going to believe you.
Right.
You don't have any. You don't give off believability.
That's
Credibility
right,
means believability. So, what is your credo? A credo is a belief system. So, these brachas and Shema is your credo.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds great.
It's a credo. I think it's a fancy word.
Trying to get
Credo.
the definition.
Oh, let's take a look. Can you get it?
Yeah.
What does it say credo is?
Oh. Died.
Let me ask you, by other brachos, say because after,
Yeah.
is there the same concept of shoyel mipnei hakavod, meshiv v'chol adam, during the brachos, in between the brachos?
Well, there's a generalized concept of interrupting between a bracha and the actual act you do before the bracha. There's always an interruption. Me'es chadas,
Correct.
You can't make a bracha and then also do something else without doing the actual act itself.
Correct. But what I'm saying is that in Birkos Haftarah you have a few brachos following each other.
Oh, you mean the end or the beginning?
The end. The end.
Oh, the end.
Yeah.
Because beginning, yeah.
So you have a few brachos,
Yeah.
a sequence of brachos.
Yeah.
So is there the same concept that during the bracha you can't interrupt?
You're talking about the concept of interruption.
The concept of interruption, right? Is it specific to the brachos of Shema, or could we find that
Fine,
elsewhere?
that's a very valid question.
Right.
You look, it would be all under the parsha called Hefsek. So what you would do is get a Talmudic
Hefsek.
encyclopedia.
Right.
That's how they would classify it?
Oh yeah, on the Hefsek. Yeah, look on the
Oh.
Hefsek. And they will bring everything that has the halacha called Hefsek.
Right.
So it is.
They have.
I mean, that's the topic heading. It's called Hefsek. Hey, pay.
It's after Haftarah.
Yeah. There should be a topic called Hefsek.
So they only have Hefsed and Hefsek Tahara.
How about Hafsaka? How about Hafsaka? There has to be a... What?
Actually, I could check in the
The index.
index, correct.
Anyway. Oh, the index is wrong. Okay, good. Motech Nyonim, yeah.
While Eliezer looks for Credo. Hefsek.
Yeah?
Birkos HaShachar, Birkos Kriyat Shema, Dalid. It's under Birkos Kriyat Shema.
On the base?
Under Birkos Kriyat Shema, yeah. They didn't make a topic.
Well,
It's
there's no
funny.
Hefsek.
It's
Oh.
Hefsek in whatever area.
They didn't conceptualize it.
They don't exactly. Well, they didn't. Make a topic, generalize it. The concept of
Right.
Hefsek anywhere. That's interesting. I'm surprised.
They have a Birkos HaTorah, Birkos HaMazon, Birkos Kriyat Shema,
Yeah.
Birkos HaShachar,
How about brachos in general?
Brachos, Pevav. I'm not sure what Pevav stands for. Oh, it doesn't seem to come up.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so that's the important idea that comes out of this, you know. Okay. Anyway, let's go further.
Yeah.
Omra b'shobin korcha.
אמר יהושע בן קורחה למה קדמה שמה לביים שמיה? Rabbi Shimon Kocha is not going to talk about the order of the three parshiyos.
Yeah. He wants to understand the logic of the order.
So he says, the first it says, why is the Shema coming before Vayem Shemaya? It's interesting that Shema and Ve'ahavta is considered is one unit.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, in the Torah, that's what it is.
Shema is Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, Ve'ahavta, right? So Shema is that parsha, right?
Yeah, it's just Baruch Shem Kol Malchusoi is an insertion. You know, so.
Right. So that's where it is.
Yeah.
So he says, "Ela kadei sheikabel alav ol malchus shamayim techila, ve'achar kach yikabel alav ol mitzvos." So,
Yeah.
we first state that we believe in Hashem, but it's more than just a statement of belief. It's an acceptance. Kabbalas ol malchus shamayim, meaning I accept the sovereignty of Hashem upon me.
Yeah.
What do I have to say it? I'm not
Gabi,
sure.
It came up. This is good.
What
A
does it say?
statement of the beliefs or aims that guide someone's actions.
Bingo.
Perfect.
What?
Wow. That's perfect.
Yeah. It's funny, I haven't used that word in 10 years. It's popped in. Credo. And that's really what it is. It's that's the word that describes the section of the brachas and Kriya Shema. This is your credo. What's that?
Credo.
What is that? That mini?
To make sure we know how to pronounce it.
Credo.
Yeah, it's a nice word, credo.
Yeah.
It's your state that guides your actions. What's your belief system
Right.
that guides your behavior? It's almost like saying, what's your philosophy of life?
Most people would have no answer to that.
What's your philosophy of life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people would answer with Torah in the frum world, but outside of there, I'm not sure what people would answer to that question. It's
Yeah.
a credo.
Well, really, what's the true answer in Judaism? What should a person be? What should his credo be? Somebody who's Jewish, or who?
Hashem or Lamaba.
No, come on. 2 words.
Mitzvahs.
No,
Torah mitzvahs.
no.
What are the 2 words? Hashem, Torah mitzvahs, or Lamaba. I mean, what else is out there?
Tikkun Abriya. I'm saying there's a couple two
No,
words.
come on. This is the central idea, the CI of a credo.
Namad Ksufa?
No. Yeah, get fancy.
No, I'm just saying everything I know.
Yeah, I know.
Every 2 words.
It's like shotgun approach. Just shoot it out and hope something is right. No, I don't want a shotgun approach. No, what should a Jew say? What is my credo?
Hashem Elokeinu.
No,
Hashem Echad.
no. I mean, that's all part of the credo, but give me what did he just say? A credo is a set of beliefs that determine your behavior. That guides you through life. Isn't that what he just defined there?
Yeah.
That's what it is. So what is it?
I mean, Shema. We say it in Shema.
God's servant.
No.
No, we're giving up.
Ratzon Habare. What is his will? That's my credo.
I mean, certain aspect of me we could say.
Somebody once said, I forgot his name. It's funny that he would say this, but it was so beautiful. He was part of the guys convicted by Nixon. I forgot his name. Remember the Nixon Gate, Watergate?
Yeah.
Hey, one of the guys, I forgot who it was. And then later on, I'm not sure if he went to prison, but he came out and became religious, whatever. He once had an incredible statement of credo. And that's really what it is. what was his statement? Your will is God's will. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. I said, wow, what a summary. You hear? Your will. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. Come on, that's gorgeous. That is such a beautiful summary. And it's so simple, it's like, And he hit right on the mark.
In what context did he say that?
I don't know. But I once read it. What was his name? Well-known guy. He then became a radio announcer, commentator. Whatever it was. Forgot his name. But Rotzen HaBorei, that's the credo of a Jew. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. Right? So simple. And then everything fits. What is the Rotzen HaBorei? You see what I'm saying? That's what
That's our credo.
yeah. So here, so why does Shema come before V'hoyim Shemoya? Right?
Right. So to first accept the sovereignty of Hashem, and then accept His mitzvahs.
Shema has to be first. I mean, without Hashem, whose mitzvahs are we? What are we doing exactly?
You know what's interesting? It doesn't say, first you have to express that you believe in God. It doesn't say that.
You accept that. You accept His sovereignty.
Yes.
Right.
And then you accept His mitzvahs. It's interesting. I was once at a... you remember I once said that? Why does Kriya Shema come? What's Kriya Shema doing in Masechet Brachos?
Brachos, yeah.
Remember when I said that? Remember? What is it doing here? I mean, it's true, it's Brachos, but, what is Kriya Shema, the Brachos, the Hilchos Kriya Shema doing as the first three prokim of Masechet Brachos? You remember what I said?
Beginning of Shas.
Yeah, it's the beginning of Shas. Why?
Right.
Because it's ultimate concept, the Yichud Hashem.
No.
And then mitzvahs, I mean, the ultimate
No,
concept.
I mean, look, I'm sure somebody's going to say yes, but no. There's a much clearer answer that really clicks.
Again, what's the question? What is Shema doing in the middle of Shas?
No, why is the first, Brachos is the first Masechet of Shas. And what's the first set of halachas? Kriya Shema.
Oh, I see.
Why? Kriya Shema is not a bracha. I mean, you could say, well, there's Brichas Kriya Shema, but that's not what it is.
I mean, bracha is connecting the certain phenomenon to Hashem. Kriya Shema is connecting basically the whole life, the content of the day of life to Hashem. The key concept is connecting to Hashem. We make a conscious effort to connect something to Hashem. Both bracha and Shema are doing it.
Okay.
If I remember correctly,
I mean, maybe it's too vague. It sounds like a sermon. I want a pshat. I want a beautiful, simple, clear statement.
Oh, that's not to us.
What?
no, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I said it.
what you
I said it
was-
before we started brachos. Yeah.
Right. Meaning when we start, before we start learning about the mitzvahs,
Yeah.
we first state our core beliefs.
Why?
That's what I remember.
Why?
Because all the mitzvahs derive from our core beliefs.
No, it doesn't matter. Derive. No, that's not the word.
Okay.
If you're ever invited to a Wachnacht, you know what Wachnacht is?
No.
Chassidim do, with the night before the bris. So they make a little Suda and they say Kriya Shema. They say Kriya Shema.
Mm.
So I once went to one and the guy asked me to speak. Wachnacht. It's recalled, the Wachnacht means Wachnacht, the night watch. Whatever. But anyway, it's a little Suda and then and they read Kriya Shema. They read a couple of things, among which is Kriya Shema. So, like I said, so somebody asked me to speak, whatever. So I looked at him and said, why is there a Wachnacht, really? Why? I went straight to the, So I said, listen, imagine if A wants to have a contract with B. A and B want to have a partnership. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? So what's the first thing that you need to know? That A wants to partner with B. What's the point? Then, once he said, yeah, I want to partner with you, then the next thing you have to do is you need to put down the terms of the agreement.
Yeah.
Well, we need to agree on what we're partnering about.
Yeah.
Right? In other words, what first thing is that you need to legitimatize or express, well, do we agree that we want to have an agreement? Do we agree that we want to have a relationship? Then the second thing is, what is the relationship? What are the terms of the relationship? In every agreement,
And then there is a signature at the end.
well, then there's a signature that both sign that they're masking to the agreement. You hear the word?
So Achnach, these first two stages?
Oh, so I said, so wait, let me give you this, then you'll understand the Vachnach, beautiful, you know. So, what do you mean, I'm not going to do the mitzvahs. The whole Shas is really all about what? Mitzvahs. Yeah, but I didn't agree to do them. I didn't agree to partner with you. And certainly I didn't agree what to partner about. So therefore I have to say, I accept the sovereignty of God. I accept that He's a Melech. I have to agree to that. Oh, now you accept upon, you've accepted that relationship, that He is my king. Now, what did He command me? What is the command of a king? Those are the mitzvahs. That's why. So Shema is the belief that what? That He is my God. Yes, Hashem Elokeinu, God is our God. And then Malchusoi, yes. So I accept the fact that He is my king. But the next thing is, okay, so now what? What did He command me? And that's V'hoyim Shema, the mitzvahs. So there always has to be two things. You hear the vote. You don't sit down and make a contract with anybody unless you agree that you want to have a contract with that guy. You want to have a relationship of some sort. Mm-hmm. Then the question is, okay, what terms do I agree to in this relationship? And that's why you have lawyers. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have lawyers to work out, okay, you agree to A? No, I'm sorry, I don't want A. Okay, let's work out a compromise. The first hanocha, the first thing is, do you want to have a relationship? The second thing is, what's the nature or the terms of the relationship?
Right.
When you talk about the Rebbeinu Shalom, his mitzvahs, do you want to have a relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom? The answer says, what is it? Sovereignty. Now, what is the commandments of that sovereignty? Therefore, before you get into all the halachas of Mishnayos, which is all the Taryag and the details of Taryag, right? I don't accept that He's my king. What do you give me the Taryag for? Imagine some guy walks over to you and says, there's a king of Norway. Here's what he commands. Well, what's the story with you? He's just me. I don't accept the king of Norway as myself. So who cares what he says?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or, Queen Elizabeth. She's not my queen. Who cares what she says? What she ordered? So you need to accept the fact that I accept the king of Norway, that he's my king. Now, what did he say?
Meaning the learning should be a learning. It should not be a learning just like a plain study of what somebody said. It's how it's relating to me.
Yeah. Well, these are the terms of the agreement that I have with him, that he is my king.
First, we have to establish a relationship.
Yes, that he's my king. Then I can say, what does he want me to do? So if he's my king, then he has a right to order me or command me, because that's what a king does. Right? And the Mishnayos is nothing more than what? The commands of God. It's the halachas. So what are you giving me halachas for? I don't accept God as king. So therefore, you have to say Kriya Shema, that I accept Him as my sovereign. Right? That's what's Ul Malchus Shemayim. Therefore, I accept His sovereignty. Now, if I do, next question is, okay, what are the terms of that sovereignty? What are the commandments?
The mitzvahs.
You see what's happening here? So I told him at the Vachnach, I said, the kid is about to be what? A bris the next morning, which means he's about to enter the covenant. Yeah, but wait a minute. This kid never said he agreed to anything. What kind of covenant? Why is he having a bris if he never agreed to anything? You hear the vote. So we are his shluchim. So we say Kriya Shema. instead of him as his shliach, that he accepts the sovereignty, and tomorrow morning he gets a sign of the covenant, of the sovereignty, the covenant of the bris. That's what a Wachnacht is. See? It duplicates Shema. And that's why they say Shema by a Wachnacht. So it's like they're saying bris. There's two dinim here. The first din is you need to accept the relationship. He's my sovereign, which therefore legitimatizes his right to command me. You see? And therefore I accept his sovereignty, and therefore I accept his legitimacy to command me. Now, what are the commandments? That's the rest of Mishnah.
Right, yeah.
Or that's V'hoyim Shema.
Right.
That's why Shema comes first. Because everything else is irrelevant if I have not accepted his sovereignty. That's why Rebbe put this first. He said, listen, you need to accept his sovereignty. And then we'll give you the rest of Kol HaTorah Kula. You see? Very simple. Very logical. Very clear. On Pshetlech, on Choshes. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, Shema has to come first. That he's Makabel Ul Malchus Shemayim. Which means he has to accept Ul Malchus. Notice what it says? Malchus Shemayim. You need to accept the kingdom of heaven, that there is a kingdom between you and him. And then you can ask, what are the mitzvahs? Because you've given legitimacy to his Malchus. See the word? So that's what Rabbi Shua ben Korkor is saying. Okay? How's that sound?
As usual.
True.
That's true. It's clear, you know? You ever have, sometimes, you ever have jigsaw puzzle, you take a piece and you put it in and it clicks in, it snaps. It's called a snap effect. Snap. When something snaps, that's exactly where it fits. So one of the hallmarks of truth is snap.
Right.
It's got to snap in.
Makes sense.
It has to make sense. It has to make sense, truly make sense. It has to snap in. What a fit. Beautiful fits. You know what I'm saying? And therefore it has to be clear. If it's vague, nothing snaps. It's called the snap phenomenon. That's one of the criteria for truth. If it doesn't snap, it's probably not true. No matter
But
how
snapping is a feeling, right?
It's more than a feeling. It's snapping is you hear.
Meaning it makes sense intellectually and
Just clicks.
and emotionally.
Well, the emotion follows the intellectual.
Right.
Yeah, because it makes so much sense.
I know what's in it, but
Snap.
I hear the click.
You hear
If you,
the
don't
click?
hear the, if you don't hear the click.
No, I hear the
something
click.
doesn't-
Yeah.
right.
No, and that's why it makes sense. Because Mishnah is nothing more than what? The mitzvahs. It's the details of the Taryag. Before you accept that, those are the terms of the agreement. I never agreed in the first place to have a relationship with you. Or what is that relationship? Okay, great.
Next.
Then V'hoyim Shemon
ויום שם
V'vayemer.
ויאמר שביום שמע נוהג ביום ובלילה. ויאמר לא נוהג אלא ביום.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
So apparently both of them. Okay, my first question is Vayomer, does Vayomer also include Kabbalas all mitzvahs?
No, it's the Vayomer has sitzes.
This is man tizku v'asisem is called mitzvah.
Oh,
So there is a part of mitzvahs. So that's probably why we ask, okay, if you want to juxtapose all Malchus Shemayim to all mitzvahs, why do you choose Vehaya? Why don't you choose Vayomer after Vehafta, after Shema?
Again?
You want to put them next to each other, so put Vayomer. Why Vehaya? They both have all mitzvahs. That's the way I understood the question.
yeah. Well, the real problem here is, what do you need Vayomer for? First of all, there are several problems with this. The first problem is that the reason why Vayomer comes last right? It's not because of tzitzis, really. It's because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. That's what we learned. That's why there is Vayomer. Maskirinus tzitzis we learned in Mishnah Hay. Why is there Vayomer? Because of remember Rosh Ben Azariah?
Yeah.
It's because of Vayomer, it's because of Yetzias Mitzrayim.
So
And by Yetzias Mitzrayim, basically, it seems here, is Midrabanan.
It doesn't really belong here. It's an add-on.
It's
an
an
extension.
Exactly. So that's why it's at the end, because it's really an extension.
No, but here Shamo, that's mitzvahs, right?
Yeah, Vayim Shema is mitzvahs, yeah.
And consequences.
Vayim Shema Tishmo Mitzvahai,
Right.
Ashanich Mitzvah Eschem Yom Navos Hashem Lekayim, V'dei B'chol V'avchem B'chol Navshem, Mitzat Mitar Artzchem, and Mitzvahai.
Mitzvahs and consequences, basically.
Yeah. Now, so mitzvahs, the real problem is, what is this, Vayim Shema Neig B'Yom Uvelayla? Yes. Vayim Neig B'Yom, so they're not included. The Vayomer tzitzis is part of the mitzvahs of the second parsha. What do I need it all together for that? You hear the kasha? There's something wrong here.
But why do I need Vayam Shamoya for altogether also?
Who?
Why do I need Vayam Shamoya?
No, that's concept of a mitzvah.
No, that's mitzvahs.
But I think that's what I was trying to say. That there's also mitzvahs in Vayomer.
What is it? Tzitzis. That's what it is. It's tzitzis.
Yeah, but the secondary.
So we do talk about all the mitzvahs.
But the main seems to be tzitzis, really.
Yeah. That's what he means by yom, not by laila. Tzitzis is not noig by laila. That's what he means. What you're saying is that it would be both, the yom and laila. So then what in the world Rabbi Shulman Koch is saying?
Right.
But really it refers to the mitzvah tzitzis. You know what I'm saying?
The main concept of Vayomer is tzitzis.
Yes, that's right.
As remembrance of mitzvah.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, and mitzitzis is only b'yoyim, because it says u'isim isoi, and you will behold it. Well, you can only look in the day. In those days, they didn't have light bulbs. So the question then is, what do I need vayoyim if that's the case? Rabbi Shimon Kocher seems to be making a statement here that vayoyim is only knowing in the day, not at night. Why do we need all together? If that's the reason for vayoyim is tzitzis. Why do I need all together? Because Vayomer already is included in the second parsha of Vahoyim Shemoah. It makes no sense. The second parsha is Vahoyim Shemoah, which is all the mitzvahs. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's all. Includes mitzvahs, whether they're noyeg by men or women, day or night. Well, those are just, when is it noyeg? When is it tzivoy? What do I care if it's day or night and so on? You see what I'm saying? What does he mean? That's the problem here. It doesn't seem to make any sense. What I don't have to extend Shema because of tzitzis. So his logic is, well, since only noig b'day, therefore it comes at the end. What do you need it all together?
Well, are you asking why do you need Vayomer all together?
Yes.
So this we already answered because of his Mitzrayim. Right?
No, but he didn't say that. So that's the question. What is he really saying?
So he's asking why the order? Why do we have Vayam Shamoya first and then Vayomer? Why don't we have it the other way? So you're asking on his question. You're asking.
It's not a question.
It's an add-on.
That's also a different question.
It's not a question, right? You're asking
No, maybe we have to ask another question first. That's what.
Well, what's crucial? The first two parshas are crucial. The last one has nothing to do with Shema. You see. So the only reason why it was added on is because of Yetzias Mitzrayim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not because of tzitzis. So then why is he dealing here with tzitzis? He should just say, well, it's an extension, and that's why it's the third parsha.
Right.
Simple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my question is, if it's an extension, does it right away relate to a third place? If it's an extension?
Yeah.
Because that extension.
Why would it come before Volume Shema?
And why not? Meaning, once it's in, why wouldn't you put it before?
Because there's no logical reason why you put it in the middle. Like I said, a couple of Malchus Shemayim, and then you have this, right?
So tzitzis is one of the mitzvahs. So you're saying because there's more mitzvahs in Vehaya? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Of course, Volume Shema Tishma Mitzai. Of course.
I think
That's what does it mean? Shavahoyim Shema Noy B'Yom Uberlayla. It means all the mitzvahs. It refers to mitzvahs which are day and night.
Right.
So what do you need Vayomer for altogether? Else that. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why you have that is because of what? Is because if you see it's Mitzrayim. And so it's clearly an extension. So obviously it's the third Parsha. Because it doesn't really have anything to do with
the main concept of mitzvahs.
Yes. So it's problematic as to why he's even saying this. It should be obvious that the real reason why you're adding it is an extension because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. Obviously it's going to be third. What else should it be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What else should it be? That's the question. Obviously it's third. You know? So what he says is really problematic in a certain way. You know? Anything to say?
There's also the chronological order, which I think is another question. In the Torah, it says first V'ahavta v'hayad v'yemer.
Yeah, I think V'yemer comes first. It's not according to chronology. It's not chronological.
Yes,
it's conceptual.
Yeah,
It's clearly this conceptual arrangement.
Yeah, it's not chronological. That's the question.
Meaning, his question is, why don't you say Vayemer first?
It's the wrong question.
Why don't you say Vayemer first? I think that's his question.
First question.
Vayemer Shemayim v'haya.
No, it can't be because.
Because in chronologically, Vayemer comes first. So say it first. Talk about Yetzias Mitzrayim, but then you'll have the.
Oh, in other words, you're saying like this. We have two add-ons.
We have one add-on.
No, I mean Vahei Hashem also it's add-on, really. I mean overall, you don't have to be there. I mean mitzvahs altogether. It's an add-on. It's not part. It's not essence Shema. Shema is the core belief. Hashem is there, and Yichud Hashem. That's the first concept, right? So mitzvahs it's add-on already. So now we have one add-on mitzvahs. Now they don't insist Mitzrayim mitzvahs, right? So which of them goes first then? We let's put them in chronological order.
We never saw a concept of V'haya as being an add-on.
But we know it's add-on.
I don't think it is. I think it comes together with Shema. It's one package.
Yeah, but it's add-on in the
Yeah,
when
it says V'dibata bam it's really it's talking
no,
about,
even if it's the right, but still it's add-on because it's additional concept. It's a second concept. There's one concept, which is Shema. Second, Vayim Shamo. It's a second concept, and third concept.
That's not what I was saying, but I hear what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying it's at the Rabbanon, they don't the Rabbanon, but it's anyway. We have three concepts over here, three distinct concepts. So first is Shema, second is Vayim Shamo, third is.
You hear what he's saying?
No, what you say?
We have two adds-on here. One is there are three concepts. One concept is Shema itself. Second, Bahem Shamoy. Third, Tzitzis Mitzrayim. So there are three concepts over here. One, the core is Shema. Really, Shema, just one line Shema. That's the core.
Yeah.
Then we have two editions.
Yeah.
So maybe the question is, okay, we have two editions. I mean, conceptual editions, whatever. So when we add them up, let's put them in chronological order. There are two editions anyway. So why there is maybe that's what the question is.
Chronology doesn't play a part here.
No, but that's the basis of the question. It's not so we don't do it because we have another order.
No.
We're trying to understand the question.
I don't like chronology as an answer. I need a conceptual answer.
So maybe the conceptual answer is Yetzias Mitzrayim should be first, and then we do mitzvahs. There's no mitzvahs before Yetzias Mitzrayim. We couldn't keep really mitzvahs in a sense. They're given after Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's not chronological, it's more conceptual. Yetzias Mitzrayim leads to performance of the mitzvahs. Yetzias Mitzrayim brings us to performance of the mitzvahs. Conceptually, not just chronological, conceptually this is so.
Yeah, but it's an interference, because Shema is, I accept his sovereignty. Okay, what is his sovereignty? That has to come right after. Conceptually, that's next. Yeah, it's just mine because of that. Yeah, it's true. We had Matan Torah and so on. That's true, but we're not into that. We want to know two things: what is his relationship with me, sovereign, What do I have to do? What are the terms of his sovereignty? What does it mean? These are the commandments. That's a conceptual link, and there's no interruption in that.
So
Why? I think maybe I have an answer.
So what is it?
Okay.
We're about to hear the answer.
What was that?
I'm all ears.
Me too.
What is the purpose of V'hoim Shemor? Mitzvahs.
The basic concept of mitzvah.
Yes. Right? Mitzvahs. That's what it is. But the interesting thing about it is that Vayoma has two dinim here. It's true that it's added on because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. But there's a rationale to put it after Kriya Shema. Why? Because it says, it says,
What's
that's
that?
mitzvahs, isn't it?
Yeah, mitzvahs.
Uschaltem is kol mitzvahs Hashem. What does it say there?
It says when we see tzitzis, we'll remember all the mitzvahs and we'll do them. But the main thing is
No, but
tzitzis
it
really.
says clearly, yeah, tzitzis is a symbol. But what's a symbol for?
For performance of all the
So
mitzvahs.
there, that's mitzvahs.
Huh?
Is it working?
As a phone? Yeah.
Can I use it for that?
But that's mitzvahs. Va'asisem is that's the agreement. So really, it's true that it's added on because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. But this is an interesting add-on, because the add-on itself is not just Yetzias Mitzrayim. It actually defines the nature of the sovereignty. It's called Mitzvahs Hashem. Va'asisem isam. So therefore, logic would have said, so you put that before V'hoim Shemor.
One second. What's Vayam Shamo is mitzvahs. Vayomer is also mitzvahs, the way
Yeah,
you're saying
yeah.
it now. So mitzvahs. Why do we put one mitzvahs before the other mitzvahs?
What's the
is
superiority?
difference
What's the superiority of this over that?
Right.
Because this is va'asisem isam.
So, what's the difference? I mean,
By V'hoim Shemor, it doesn't say that, does it?
But Vayam Shama only talks about schar and oynesh.
Yeah, exactly. If you do the mitzvahs, you're going to get good stuff.
So that
If you don't do it, bad stuff. But it doesn't say...
so it's more like not the mitzvah per se, it's consequences of doing the mitzvah, not the mitzvah.
more, yeah.
it's what leads you to accept doing the mitzvahs.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, Vayomer says, Man Tizkru... Yeah,
Basically,
right?
yeah.
So it says that you will remember what? All the mitzvahs, right? And you will do them. It says clearly, that's all the mitzvahs. It's as much as V'hoim Shemor. Right? You know, it's as much as V'hoim Shemor. But it's even more than that. It's V'asisem isam. You see, it does, and you know what I'm saying? It would seem that Vayomer is a better. You want to include something where it says the Moshe gives you mitzvahs. So it would almost seem that this is a better way of saying it because it's Va'asisem isam.
So basically, the question is why.
So it would kill two birds with one stone. It would say Va'asisem isam, yes, mantis, whatever, and also you have tzitzis. So tzitzis is why you include it. But once you've included it, maybe it's even better than V'hoim Shemor.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Because it says not only Man Tizkor V'asisem isam, and you remember Kol Mitzvahs Hashem, mitzvahs. V'asisem isam. Wow, it's like, there it is. You see, so the reason why Vayomer is there is because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. But once it's there, and
It
we
makes
see
sense
this
to
pasuk, makes sense that this should, because it replicates what V'hoim Shemor says
on a more fundamental level.
on a more fundamental level, because there's mitzvahs Hashem and you should do them. Whereas V'hoim Shemor doesn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, why not? And the answer is,
The ikar.
because you should remember, because the mitzvah really is tzitzis.
That's the CI of.
That the tzitzis is the mitzvah, and that will remind you of everything else. And tzitzis is only noig b'yoyim, not b'layla. Therefore, we don't want to put it. You see, it's true that it says there are mitzvahs and you should do them.
But it's a
But
second,
the mitzvah, it's a secondary.
It's not, yeah,
The primary statement is tzitzis.
It stems from tzitzis.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Well, tzitzis is the symbol of that. Yeah,
Right.
but so it's a symbol of. So clearly, it says there are mitzvahs and you have to do them. But it derives or emerges from the mitzvah of tzitzis, and that's only b'yom. So therefore, it doesn't have any superiority over V'hoim Shemoah.
So
I would like to propose some.
So therefore, we need to include it. Why? Because of Yetzias Mitzrayim, and it is not superior to V'hoim Shemoah. Let it be afterwards. You hear the word? That's what he means. He's referring to tzitzis. Well, what do you mean tzitzis? It says the whole thing. But that's a derivative statement from tzitzis. And tzitzis is not b'yom, so that we don't want to say that. So then why say it all together? What do you need it all together?
Right.
That's the next question. Okay, if it's inferior to V'hoim Shemoah as a statement of what is the sovereignty, so why put it all together? You see? And the answer is, Yetzias Mitzrayim.
Beautiful.
How's that sound? Makes sense. Does it have a click? Snap?
Yeah, right. Loud one.
No, but you see, you should know, if it had tzitzis, and it didn't have L'man Tizkru, it's mitzvah Hashem, Vasiyam Sam, then that makes sense. What do you mean? Why? It's because it's Yetzias Mitzrayim. Why should this proceed conceptually V'hoim Shemoah? You hear the word? Why?
Yeah.
That makes sense. But the answer is that no, because in it also, besides Yetzias Mitzrayim, it has a double mal yusa, a double virtue of actually saying mitzvahs and do it.
Right.
You hear the word?
Yeah.
But since that's a derivative of a symbol of the mitzvah which it does refer to, which is what? Tzitzis, then you can't have it before V'hoim Shemoah. That's its problem. But that's really what it is. Tzitzis.
So according to what you're saying, it's a double question. When Mishnah asks, V'hayom Shema leVayomer, why is V'yavin Shema before Vayomer? It's really a double question, meaning, first of all, why don't we say Vayomer first? Number two, why do we need V'hayo all together for?
No, it can't be before Shema. That's 4 o'clock.
No.
It can only be before V'hoim Shemoah.
Correct.
That's the Havamim.
But it's also, there's a second implied question, which is, once we say Vayomer, why do you need to say V'hayo for? Is that an implied question in Mishnah?
Once it has V'hoim Shemoah,
Once we have Vayomer,
technically yes. Yeah, what do you
say
need
it
V'hoya?
before, and why do you need V'hayo altogether?
Because then it serves 2 purposes.
Correct.
It will tell you about the mitzvahs, and it will talk about Yetzias Mitzrayim
Right.
and Echanami.
Right.
So what he's trying to say is, that not only should it go before V'hoim Shemoah, it should replace V'hoim Shemoah. What do you need it for? And the answer is no. Because it focuses on tzitzis. And that's not knowing b'yoyim. We don't want that. We want a complete statement of the tzivuyim. We don't want tzivuyim that only knowing in day.
We want independent tzivui statements.
What?
No, we want independent tzivui statements.
Clear,
independent. Right,
yeah.
right.
Now, not time with, because, So what does that mean? There's no mitzvahs at night? You don't want to get into that. Yeah. So then it makes a lot of sense. Why V'hoim said no b'yom b'layla? You can't do that. B'yom. Since that's the fundamental. But if it wasn't for that, it could have replaced V'hoim Shemoah and had Yetzias Mitzrayim. Hey, double. How does that sound?
Beautiful.
Sounds good.
Sounds like we accomplished something.
Well, like I say, it's a matter of analyzing a Mishnah. That's all it was.
Yeah.
There was no magic here. There was a rabbit out of the hat. That's true.
It's not so simple.
But there was no. I mean,
I wouldn't say there was no magic here.
No, because I'm saying that doesn't make sense.
Take your time, analyze every single.
You have to analyze the statement. What is he saying? Does it make sense to you? And it doesn't make sense. It's not reasonable to assume. So therefore, he obviously is saying something. Some people say he was the son of Rabbi Akiva. Because Rabbi Akiva was bald. Korcha, Korachas means bald. So they used to call him Rabbi Yeshua ben Korcha, Yeshua the son of the bald one. Although many people say that doesn't pass to say Rabbi Akiva bald. You know what I'm saying? It's tasdish. To call Rabbi Akiva, he's the father of the Torah Shabbat Peh, so to speak, and you call him the bald one.
Unless that was like an attribute, like the bald people are smart, or like maybe they had something to do with bald.
Yeah, but Rabbi Shimon Korcha is listening, he's a Tana. So the question is, what is he saying? You need to look at that and say, what's it saying? So that's why you have to look at Vayayomeh, that Takit does say, mitzvahs. Va'asisim oisam, beautiful. Because that's the command. The command is, this is the tzivoy, and do it. You know what I'm saying? So if not for the fact, if tzitz was been noig b'yoyim, a balayla and b'yoyim, it's very possible it would have replaced for hoyom shamoah. Yeah, because it has double a feature, as they say. Right. It's a double feature.
Meaning originally we wouldn't insert it together with Shema because it's not the ikar. The ikar is not mitzvahs. But once we have to insert it for a separate reason, such as Yitzias Mitzrayim.
Yeah.
Then
the logic is so then replace the whole thing. Why? Right. Why do we, And the answer is you can't, because the mitzvah that it's focusing on is tzitzis. Even if that's a symbol to remember all the mitzvahs, they do it. See, it's got that, and we don't want to if that's the focus is tzitzis, you can't do that, because it's not noig b'layla, and we don't want that. We don't want partial sovereignty. Well, the sovereignty is only by day, and not by night.
Right.
We don't want that, It's, not in a belief credo.
Meaning the tzitzis...
Remember, this is a credo. Remember what this is.
Right.
This isn't just this is your credo that's going to guide your life.
24/7.
24/7.
The tzitzis is leading to doing mitzvahs. Right?
Yeah.
The tzitzis leads you to do mitzvahs. But if that only works during the day, that doesn't work at night.
If that only works at night.
Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
It's
you're not
leading.
at night. There's no tzitzis at night.
So at night I don't have the tzitzis to push me to do mitzvahs.
No, but he's saying more than that. He's just saying it's a restrictive statement. We don't want that as a statement of core belief. We don't want that. It's restrictive. Something the belief will be and not there. It doesn't mean too specifically, that it doesn't cause us to do mitzvahs at night.
Yeah, I think it's a great shot. If I must say so myself. I'm sure somebody's got to say it. But it makes a lot of sense. It's a big chiddush, by the way. To say that not only would it come before it, but it would also precede it. It would replace.
Yeah.
Because there's no... But you have to say it can come before only because it duplicates the same thing that Vahim Shema. Right. Or else why would it... why would you have a Havamin like that? Because you need a statement of the mitzvahs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what's the Havamina here? That it's come before. And the answer is because it does have. So the question is, okay, well, so why have it all together? Because of Yitzias Mitzrayim,
Yeah.
Hey, great.
I had a meeting at 9:00. I was hoping to slip out.
You had a meeting at 9?
Yeah. I'm saying I have to make a call. I was hoping to slip out during the shir with more people. It didn't work out. So I'm going
but look, the payoff, you got a tremendous chiddush.
Wow, thank you very much. It's just I'm going to leave 5 minutes early because of that.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.